Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Jaime Fuego.
And we are back with another review out of the Phoenix Film Festival 2018, as well as the International Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival portion of the event.
Yeah.
Specifically, actually, on this one. And this is a movie that we did a trailer reaction for that we actually liked the trailer, if I recall correctly.
It looked decent enough, but it didn't wow us, and so we didn't go in with like hefty expectations for this movie.
Right, but I'll tell you what, it might be one of my favorites of the festival because I ended up really enjoying this movie. I had partly going into it without remembering the trailer was a big help. So if you guys haven't seen the trailer, don't watch it before going to watch the movie. Just watch the movie on this one. Trust us.
It's on Amazon Prime right now, also.
So there you go. It is very much worth your time, and I would say worth your money as well after having watched it. So overall thoughts, like we've been saying, I really dug it. The thing that I liked the most.
It is called The Evil Within, by the way.
Right. It is called. Oh, did we not say that?
No.
Oh shoot! There you go. Yeah, we're talking about The Evil Within, guys.
Yeah.
The thing that I really liked the most about this one has to be the acting.
Yeah.
Actually, I really enjoyed the acting, especially of our main character. It's really interesting too because the movie starts off super cool. Like it. Well, go ahead, Fuego. Give a little bit of backstory that you just found out about this director.
No, boy. So I was talking with Jason from Sinister
Cinema.
Sinister Cinema, yeah. And he was doing a Tales from the Crypt episode about the reluctant vampire, and that happens to have an actor who I cannot recall the name of this guy, but he was also in The Hills Have Eyes, and he's an iconic Chrome Dome actor, very kind of creepy and strange looking. But apparently Jason did some research about this movie after watching it on Amazon Prime, The Evil Within, and I guess this was like the pet project of some crazy meth head, and he worked on it for years, and did some shooting here, did some shooting there, ended up passing away, and then some filmmaker friends finished the flick for him, but it makes you feel like you're on drugs at times. This movie is insanely edited, and some of the shots are twisty and crazy, and the opening scene that you were calling to, it's like a dream sequence, like out in the middle of the desert, and there's like a creepy carnival type thing going on, but there's almost like a static, like stuttery kind of effect or something that they put on. I mean, I don't know these film terms with how you would describe that, but it looked very dreamlike and insanity.
Right off the bat, even like it starts off that way. Like that's what I was gonna get at. Was it starts so interestingly, and the way they introduce the main character is so smart because the whole thing is this weird dreamlike progression of images fading from one to another and morphing into each other while you hear the voiceover of this guy who's talking kind of creepy and has these dark sort of thoughts and is talking about all this weird stuff. And you're like, whoa, that's crazy. And then the camera eventually fades to the main character and he's like, that's me, but I'm going to sound a little bit different to you, and then he starts talking and he's special needs.
Yep, he's handicapped.
And he's living with his brother, and his brother has a girlfriend that is over quite a bit, played by Dina Meyer.
Yep, and the brother is Sean Patrick Flannery, the young Indiana Jones, and he's been in tons of other stuff. I mean, Boondock Saints, I mean, the list goes on. He's a tremendous actor. I've seen him in a ton of great stuff, and the entire ensemble, all three of them, the brother, the main character, and Dina Meyer's character, the girlfriend, they're all exceptional. I mean, the acting is damn good in this movie. And
then, so basically, it's pretty quick on the brother, Sean Patrick Flannery, brings home this weird mirror that the special needs brother ended up dreaming about, previous. That's what it opens with, the dream
it
involving
even comes home.
And so, as soon as the mirror arrives, the handicapped brother does not, or handicapable special needs brother. Just so I cover all my bases, the special needs brother immediately hates the mirror, but then very quickly becomes sort of enamored with the mirror and starts having conversations with himself, and the mirror version of him is the one we heard in the dream at the beginning. So
the
internal sort of dialogue that he has, but he's dark and he's trying to convince the special needs version of himself to do dark things, and it progresses.
An ascending plateau of vile things.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, the brother is, having his own drama with Dina Meyer and stuff over the special needs brother, and it's just really interesting to watch as a character piece on both sides.
Yeah.
And again, the special needs brother is playing like two versions of himself, and one of them that is extraordinarily tortured while being so innocent at the same time. It was such an interesting thing to see, different. As a horror fan, we've seen so many things that are the same over and over again, and that's pretty much as far as we can go on the story without ruining things, but I loved it because it was different.
Compelling dichotomy, man. Just the way that, I mean, and the range of that actor to be able to, do the handy-capable thing, as we said, but yet also be so sinister. I mean, the character in the mirror that is, well, I guess I don't want to kind of spoil like where this evil is necessarily coming from or anything, but I mean, I was fascinated and I was frightened, especially with the way that he just almost made it seem plausible, and the way he tried to justify why he would do some of these things. And I mean, it's scary stuff, man. It seriously was. But the fact that they were able to juggle the family dynamic as well, and make it compelling and not make it supremely cliched. I mean, this film had a lot of balls up in the air, and yet it somehow managed to just really hit all of them.
Without dropping one.
Yeah, exactly right.
So also there's a lot to talk about in this movie. I think for sure I want to, because you touched on it, you actually reminded me how much I liked the cinematography in this movie. Because now we're recording this, unfortunately, a few weeks after the event, so we're having to reach back because things got pretty busy. But there was one shot in particular, like the cinematography was uber accomplished, I thought. And
it helps when you have just an interestingly, just built home that you're filming this in, with the crazy looping spiral.
Well, that's the thing. It's a giant spiral staircase, and there's one shot that's facing down, and the special needs brother is on one level on the left, like walking up, and the other brother is one level below, sort of walking up after him, because he's sort of storming off and he's going after him, and the camera's moving at the same pace, so they're maintaining their positions while they're ascending the stairs, and the camera's moving with them. It's just so, I was like,
and it was so brilliant too, super fluid.
And then there's a scene with the non-special needs brother and the psychologist that is like, the camera's moving around the room, but every new thing it passes behind, it changes the distance of the subject and everything. I was like, wow, this is so interesting how they're doing this.
Also, some of the shots of like gazing into the endless mirror after mirror after mirror. It's like an endless hallway of mirrors when you look
infinity
into it at certain
effect.
points.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And not only that, but they play with it. There's not everything is always going infinity in those scenes, and that that out of placeness is what makes it creepy. This movie knows how to make you feel creepy and unnerved at things that aren't like just jump scares and stuff like that.
Truly. And so and that's the cool thing, is if we're going to segue into the acting once again, I mean, it's not often that we get something that's visually compelling and has great performances, and yet somehow this managed to do both. I mean, once again, Patrick Flannery is great. His dynamic with even Dina Meyer, like I could feel kind of her perspective and his perspective a little bit. I mean, it would be trying to, have a 30-something special needs younger brother, and some of her concerns were valid, but yet she was a little bit bitchy at times. But I mean, you could see that being totally just happening within the constraints of that situation, and everybody's dynamic felt like it fit. And also the guy from The Hills Have Eyes, when he's doing some of the initial scenes when we see him, he's not in a ton of the movie, so don't go in expecting that, but he was properly creepy as well. So pretty much everybody that we see get some decent screen time in this really just brought their A game, man.
Agreed. It's extremely worthwhile for the acting and the cinematography alone, and the effects were good too. There was practical, and I don't remember. I mean, the digital was more picture manipulation, and there was some digital effects and stuff as well that were effective. So I did like it all.
There's a little bit of gore, but it's not like super violent. This is more so a movie that's just like it builds tension, and just it's more of a creep factor, you know, as opposed to something that's gonna, like, you know, like buckets of blood or anything like that.
I guess the first thing that came to mind was like a frailty sort of feel.
Yeah. Building of creepy ambiance,
right,
especially.
Right. Through good acting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything else that I just hesitate to say too much.
There's so much we could spoil in this movie, which we don't want to. You know, I'm with Cecil, and don't go and watch the trailer to see if this might be up your alley. Just with what we've said, just roll with it, and I think you'll be pleasantly satisfied.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, guys, again, I can't emphasize enough that it was. I did not know what would happen next. Mm-hmm. Like, I had an inkling of where one of the characters was going to go, at least, mm-hmm. and even that wasn't entirely correct.
Oh man, dude, the ending scene, which we can't spoil, where he puts on the show and everything.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Fantastic, man.
Dude, you're right. Oh my god, you're right. Oh wow.
This movie's got a great
You
ending.
just opened like there was a door that was cracked that I hadn't even remembered, but man, you're right. That was
we don't get
so
to go in
legit.
that room until the very end of the movie.
Oh, that last scene was totally legit.
Yeah.
God, this movie was great. I need to buy it, actually. I need to straight buy this movie.
It was pretty damn good, man.
It was awesome. Guys, go watch The Evil Within. Like, it is so different and so accomplished. Mm-hmm. And you, again, in the way that Dave Made a Maze surprised me last year.
Yes.
This sort of surprised me as well. It just was out of left field and completely different. As a horror fan, I just love that when I see that.
And I feel like we always encounter one of those every year at the International Horror Sci-Fi Film Festival. There's always one that just surprises us with how good it is. We go in with like moderate expectation, if any at all, and then we're just like, holy crap, that was really good. Yeah.
Final Girls was another example.
Was another great one. Yeah.
So, props to Monty, man. Monty from International Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival. He's catering this event with these movies, and he's doing a tremendous job. So, special thanks to him, as well as Jason from the Phoenix Film Festival and Patrick from Allied. You guys all rock. Thank you very much. Yeah, you guys, we can't tell you enough. Go watch The Evil Within. If you have seen it, let us know in the comments down below what you thought of it, or if this has swayed you to go watch it. Let us know that as well. And if you do go watch it, come back and tell us what you thought.
Yeah.
Let's get this conversation going, guys. We love it. So,
it's a fun one.
Thanks again for watching. That's The Evil Within. Go check it out right now. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, I've been Jaime and Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.